Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for November 2024 for each life path number to see how the energies of November could influence you. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading. If you would like your own personal reading, your own personal numerology reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you and take a closer look. Also, if you book a year ahead forecast or any reading that has the year ahead forecast included in it, you'll get your year ahead forecast for the rest of 2024 and all of 2025. So this is a great time to book your year ahead forecast if you haven't done so yet. So if you want to do that, you can book some time with me. Again, my information is in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these life path numbers for November. Life path number 9. So November is a month that could test your resiliency and your fortitude. And I say that because you're going to be working with the vibration of the 28-1. And this can bring in sort of unwarranted strong opposition or competition. And it could be, coming from unexpected places. And so what I would say is this is a month where you are meant to express yourself, to put yourself out there, all of the things, and not be deterred by the opposition, right? Not become cynical or overwhelmed by other people's need to be right, other people's need to oppose, other people's need to debate. You're just simply meant to get to a place where you feel comfortable and good about what you're sharing, your messaging, your place in the world, how you express yourself, and not be too overly concerned by others' opinions of that, and not to be easily swayed to change your ways, as far as when it comes to, again, your place in the world, your expression, etc. Who you are, right? You're not meant to be easily swayed by that and to accommodate other people's expectations in order to make them comfortable while you're uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So this month could bring in, I say opportunities, but I just mean experiences where, again, you're kind of seeing the other person's true colors and their motivation, right? And that could be to kind of build you up and then tear you down. And this isn't like sort of a message to become cynical or, overly skeptical of people. This is just saying, you will likely be met with some kind of opposition this month, and you're going to have to come back to, how do I want to engage? How do I want to participate in this? And remembering that you are in the driver's seat and you get to decide how you engage, right? Because a lot of times, especially for 9s, you can feel sort of restricted especially early on in life, you can feel restricted, like you're not able to express yourself. You're not able to truly be who you are because it makes other people uncomfortable, or, there's that opposition or whatever. And so you turn more towards making yourself small and silencing yourself to accommodate others, to make others feel comfortable. And there's a restriction there, right? There's a bondage that needs to be broken at some point, and at some point it will be, right? And that comes through the opposition and the experiences that you face. At some point you say, I'm done with this. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to do what feels good and aligned for me. And those who are on board will come along for the ride, and those who aren't will not. And that's okay. I don't have to, become this chameleon to change who I am to accommodate every person that's out there. Because as the saying goes, we can never please everyone. I mean, most of the time we can't please, many of the people. So it really is this interesting energy of breaking free. And I find it interesting because you're also working with horse energy. And when I think about horses, there's the wild horses. I know we have them in the United States. They may have them in other places of the country, of course. But there's wild horses in certain parts of the United States where they just run freely, right? They're not tamed. They're wild. And there's a beauty to that. There's a freedom with that. And of course, as humans do, we tamed most of the horses. We domiciled them, right? And so domesticated them. And, we quote unquote, as it's called, broke them. And it's interesting because with horse energy coming through, I know for nines, this is a journey and a lifetime that can be very faith breaking, that can break you at times, right? And it can be really difficult to come back to who you are and truly, put the pieces back together and still continue to shine that beautiful light that's such a big part of nines, through all those tests and challenges and the oppositions and all of that. And so it's interesting with this 28-1 energy, and I actually have goosebumps right now as I'm speaking. So there's something true to this for someone out there. So I hope this message reaches you. But with horse energy coming through also, there's this push to break free and, open those gates, jump over those gates and run wild and free and truly, truly, truly step into the light that you are. And there's going to be opposition. This is a lifetime for that. There's going to be that pushback. But you can truly help and serve and be that light by being exactly who you are, sharing your gifts, however they come in for you, and not morphing into or trying to fit into some mold that another person has put before you with their expectations and conditions, right? So with horse energy coming through, there's definitely this need for freedom, this need for breaking free, this need for, shouting from the rooftops something about yourself that you've been holding deep within because you're afraid of being shamed or judged or ridiculed. So there's so much beauty in this energy, both of these energies that you all are working with this month, that really is pushing you to step into your truth and speak that truth and live that truth regardless of the opposition. So I would definitely say this month, be careful about engaging with people who want to compete, to debate, or to oppose you simply to be right or to change you in some way. Engage and participate in ways that feed your soul and your energy and that don't deplete you. So, keep going with whatever it is that you need to go with to express yourself, to be you, even with the noise of the opposition. So beautiful energy for you all in November 9s. And I would say, if you continue to use good judgment and be fair, right? And what I mean by fair is, the vibration of the 9 is really one that no matter what life throws at you, you've got to come back to that space of grace, non-judgment, forgiveness, etc. That is the higher octave of the 9. And that's why this journey is so difficult, because usually the 9s are faced with such opposition and such sort of, sometimes devastation that it can be really challenging to continue to come back to that state of grace and forgiveness and that, taking the higher road and blah, blah, blah. But you're certainly equipped to do that, or you wouldn't be here as a 9. And so you continue to use good judgment. And if you can do that, and I know you can, you'll see great progress, right? While leaving that unnecessary noise behind. And so this is definitely a lifetime for you 9s where you will likely see many transitions and many people fall away, right? Relationships come in and they're transitory and then they fall away, right? So, this month you could, by stepping fully into yourself, expressing yourself, blah, 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 you could definitely see some people fall away who oppose that, don't agree with that, etc. But I would say let them go, right? If they're meant to be a part of your life, they'll come back. And they'll come back in a way that's supportive. And so, yeah, beautiful energy here. I think that this is really just pushing you, especially with horse energy, to step into something that feels much more freeing, much more comfortable, whether it's career, relationships, your belief systems about yourself, etc. Beautiful energy for transformation this month in such a empowering way. And I would also say, ask yourself, what is actually a challenge and what is, what's the situation where people simply don't want you to be successful, right? They just are disagreeing to disagree. They are building you up to tear you down type of thing. Those are not the people who are aligned with your greater mission, and you will likely see those individuals fall away as you continue to step into, again, the higher octave of the 9 and your own personal truth. So beautiful energy, 9s. I hope it's a great November. I think it's going to be transformative. Take care. Bye for now.